long before anyone remembers your name, long before success finds your doorstep, long before your life begins to resemble the dreams you've carried in silence. Something else is already happening. The universe is watching your habits, not your intentions, not your wishes, not the promises you make when inspiration is high. Your habits, because habits reveal who you truly are. Anyone can speak about greatness. Very few are willing to build it. Every sunrise asks the same quiet question. Will you become the same person today, or someone slightly better than yesterday? Most people never realize that this question is being asked. The few who answer it consistently change their lives forever. Imagine a sculptor standing before a block of stone. To everyone else, it's just a rock, heavy, ordinary, worthless. But the sculptor sees something invisible, a masterpiece waiting to be uncovered. Every strike of the chisel removes what doesn't belong, not all at once, not in a single afternoon. Thousands of careful strikes, thousands of small corrections, until one day, the world calls it art. People admire the finished sculpture. Almost no one admires the years of invisible work that created it. Your life is no different. Every disciplined choice is another strike of the chisel. Every excuse you refuse, every promise you keep, every morning you get up anyway. You're slowly revealing the masterpiece that has been hidden inside you all along. The stars above us teach a lesson that most people never notice. The light reaching your eyes tonight may have begun its journey before you were born. Some stars you admire no longer even exist, yet their light continues to travel through space. Think about that. Your actions work in much the same way. The kindness you show today, the discipline you practice, the courage you demonstrate, the example you become. Those things continue traveling long after the moment has passed. You are constantly sending light into the future. The question is, what kind of light are you creating? Every human being has two lives. The first is the life they are living. The second is the life they could be living. The distance between those two lives isn't measured in money, or talent, or intelligence. It's measured by courage. The courage to become uncomfortable, the courage to be misunderstood, the courage to fail publicly, the courage to keep going privately. Most people don't fear failure. They fear becoming visible. They fear becoming different, because different attracts attention, and attention attracts judgment. But remember this: the people who criticize your growth are usually uncomfortable with their own lack of it. Never allow someone else's fear to become your future. A river never argues with the mountain. It doesn't waste time asking why the obstacle exists. It simply flows. If the mountain blocks one path, the river discovers another, patiently, relentlessly, eventually. Even stone begins to surrender. That is the power of persistence. Not force, not speed, persistence. If water can reshape mountains, imagine what consistency can do to a human life. There is a strange illusion that affects almost everyone. It's the belief that tomorrow will somehow be different. Tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll eat healthier. Tomorrow I'll write the book. Tomorrow I'll make the phone call. Tomorrow I'll become disciplined. But tomorrow has a dangerous habit. It always becomes today. And when today arrives, the same excuses return wearing different clothes. Life doesn't change because the calendar changes. Life changes because your decisions change. Walk into any forest. The tallest tree didn't compete with the smallest. The oldest tree didn't rush its growth. Each one simply reached toward the light every single day. Nature never compares. It only grows. Humans could learn a great deal from that. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Your race was never against them. It has always been against the version of yourself that wants to remain comfortable. Every promise you make to yourself creates something invisible. Trust. When you say you'll wake up early, and you do, trust grows. When you promise yourself you'll finish what you started, and you finish, trust grows stronger. But every broken promise weakens that relationship. Eventually, the person you trust the least becomes yourself, and without self-trust, confidence becomes impossible. Confidence is not built by positive thinking. It's built by keeping your word. Especially when no one else is watching. The mind is an incredible storyteller. Unfortunately, it often tells stories that aren't true. It says, "You've missed your chance. It isn't possible. You're not talented enough. They're better than you." But your mind has one weakness. It cannot distinguish between repeated fiction and repeated truth. Whatever story you tell yourself often enough, it begins to believe. Choose your story carefully, because eventually, your life begins acting it out. Imagine climbing a mountain wrapped in thick fog. You cannot see the summit. You can barely see the next step. Many people stop walking because they can't see the destination. But experienced climbers understand something important. You don't need to see the entire mountain. You only need to see the next step. Life unfolds exactly the same way. Clarity rarely comes before movement. It almost always follows it. The universe has a remarkable way of testing commitment, not because it wants you to fail, because it wants to know whether you truly mean what you say. You say you want success. Will you continue when progress is invisible? You say you want peace. Will you protect your mind from unnecessary negativity? You say you want greatness. Will you choose discipline when comfort is easier? Life continually asks one question: how serious are you? Your actions answer every single day. There will come a season where it feels like nothing is happening. Weeks pass, months pass, perhaps even years. You wonder whether all your effort matters. This is where most people quit, not because they aren't capable, because they mistake silence for failure. But remember the seed, buried beneath dark soil, invisible, silent, patient. The seed never doubts the existence of spring. It simply continues becoming what it was designed to become. Perhaps that's exactly what you need to do. Success has a strange relationship with time. It rewards those who respect it. Every hour invested wisely becomes compound interest for your future. Every hour wasted becomes compound regret. Time is the only resource given equally to every human being. The difference lies in how we choose to spend it. Imagine if every hour carried a price tag. Would you still spend it the same way? Years from now, people may call you fortunate. They'll say you were lucky. They'll admire your confidence, your discipline, your achievements. They'll see the fruit, not the roots. They'll never know about the mornings you doubted yourself, the evenings you wanted to stop, the sacrifices no one applauded. But you'll know, and that knowledge will be enough, because real success doesn't need constant recognition. It creates quiet satisfaction, the kind that cannot be purchased, the kind that cannot be taken away. One day, without warning, you'll notice that your life has changed. Not because of one extraordinary event, but because of thousands of ordinary decisions. You'll realize you think differently, speak differently, walk differently, respond differently. The person who once needed motivation has become the person who creates momentum. The habits that once demanded effort now feel as natural as breathing. This is how transformation truly happens, quietly, patiently, almost invisibly, until one day, the impossible begins to feel ordinary. So as this moment comes to an end, remember one truth: the universe is not impressed by what you plan to do. It responds to what you repeatedly do. Not once, not twice, but every single day. Choose the difficult conversation. Choose the early morning. Choose the extra page. Choose the final repetition. Choose kindness when bitterness feels easier. Choose patience when frustration takes over. Choose growth when comfort calls your name. Because every decision is another vote for the person you are becoming. And one day, without realizing exactly when it happened, you'll wake up inside the life you once imagined. You'll stand a little taller, breathe a little deeper, smile a little longer, not because life became perfect, but because you became stronger. The mountains were never meant to disappear. You were meant to become the climber. The storms were never meant to stop. You were meant to become the captain. The darkness was never meant to defeat you. It was meant to teach you how powerful your own light could become. So keep walking, keep building, keep believing, not because the road is easy, but because the person waiting at the end of it is worth every step.